Good morning, guys. I'm just going to show you my morning routine, what I do before my kids wake up. I'm a mom of 5. I'm super busy. You guys know I'm out there doing the podcast, doing classes, courses with you guys. I have my books out before priming my mind. I'm going to get to that in the morning. Before I do, going to get washed up. I use Dr. Bronner's, just basic stuff. I don't do like my full-on morning facials and stuff. I'm just washing up for Fajr, for Qiyam al-Layl. I'm up a little bit earlier, just making sure I have time to myself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and just getting like regularly washed up. I tend to use all natural products. So you're going to see I have a toothpaste here from Thailand I've showed before. It's based with clove. I have a shea butter, but with this beautiful mango smell. It's like a body butter type thing. $3. I buy it in Harlem locally. Can't get it online. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I love natural products. Your skin is your biggest organ, so always on that. Through this video, you're going to see me sharing not just my morning routine. I'm going to do a twist. I'm going to share kind of like my personal tips on why I do what I do and why I think it works. My morning routine is always a reflection of my current goals, and that's why it shifts, and it should. I shouldn't have one morning routine the whole year the same because it's not pivoting to balance and what I'm trying to do right now in my life. So my morning routine in 2019, this might be similar, but it's going to be a little bit different. And at the same time, it might even change 2 months from now, because whenever I feel if my goals are progressing and I need to move on, I've grown out of something, I don't need something anymore, I'm very in tune with that, and then I change. But yeah, don't feel like you have to lock yourself into one thing, and it should definitely somehow be connected with this consistency of reaching your current goals for the year. So that's what you're going to see here. So at this point, I'm going to move into like prayer, du'as, all that good stuff in the morning. I'm here and praying Qiyam al-Layl, and then I'm going to obviously make a dhikr and du'a and pray Fajr, but I'm not going to show you every single thing, but you're going to get the idea of it. And alhamdulillah, what I love is this quiet time in the morning. My husband usually leaves for work very, very early. Otherwise, we will pray together. Lately has a different schedule. Usually we'll pray with my son who's 10. But alhamdulillah, like being able to start the day with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the thing that I think makes all the difference. Waking up for Fajr, change your day entirely. Here I'm just doing like all the basic stuff you do after Salah, as everyone else would. I use regular Fortress of the Muslim book, or sometimes I will use this app on, I think, just the regular one everyone uses, Muslim Pro. They have all the morning dhikr here. People say, oh, which one should I use? Listen, guys, I just open it up and I go through all of them. I say almost all of them, and alhamdulillah, this is all the traditional Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam right there. Look, it's easy. If you just press on it, if you want, some of these apps will even say them with you. I make dua for my kids, for the ummah, I make for everyone, alhamdulillah. And I've also incorporated some stretching. It's very hard to record that, but like basically stretching that I've done. I always get some water and hydrating. These are all related to my goals, my health, the stretching, the hydrating. If I don't use regular water, I will also drink coconut water. This is something else because it has really, really high electrolytes. It's great for hydration. If you feel like you're a person that's personally struggling with that, it's another great thing. Next, I'm going to go to the table and start all my morning studies. But first, I just want to jump in here and say it's really important to keep it simple and do what works for you. So, you might like something about what I do or something about another sister does on YouTube. It's really important that you just do what works for you, and you do it so simple that you're able to keep it up consistently daily. I think the thing is sometimes we give ourselves so much to do. Look at her big routine. She's doing this, she's doing that. Just do what works for you. Keep it simple and keep it uniquely for you. Even though you might see something I'm doing, it doesn't mean it might necessarily be for you. And the same thing, when I watch other women, I say, wow, that's really nice, but it might not be for me. I'm so happy for her. So definitely keep it simple and for you. All right. So as I'm sitting here in the morning, I have the bright lights on. I have my box here. First of all, I have a couple homeschool pens and things because I do have that from homeschooling. I actually don't have my favorite pen in here, but I do have my Muji pen that I often use. I like sharp, fine point pens. Sometimes I have this type of pen because I use it for like the iPad if I want to write on it. And then I do have a couple other markers and things because afterwards I do transfer this and use this as my homeschooling pen bin. So it serves two purposes. So it's really easy for me to transition in the morning. The other thing is I have a box of highlighters highlighters here. I love different color highlighters, especially these cute little ones. My kids absolutely love them. So whenever we have to do anything in homeschooling, they always want to use it. Again, it transfers, or I can highlight books and different things that I want inside the books. And so that's what I typically do. This is super tattered. If you watch any of my older YouTube videos, you'll see it. There's a sister, she gave it to me. It's actually from the Dianet Center. Look how like tattered it is. It's like horrible. I'm sorry, but alhamdulillah, it's being used. That's all the du'as of the Prophet, peace be upon him, like the major ones that you'd want to say. Sometimes I just want something hands-on, so I have that here. This one I really want to show you. So if you are stuck and you feel like some days you're rushed, you don't have time to do all of this, this seems overwhelming, then you always have this. This is my very teeny weeny book, if you can see by the size of my hand, and I call it, hold on, I'll show you right here, one ayah a day. I just write one ayah. If I find I have absolutely no time, I tell myself, you can at least do one ayah. So I'll have the ayah, and then underneath I will have my reflection on that ayat al-Quran. Like here in this one is Al-An'am. So inshallah bismillah ta'ala, if you feel like it's a day it's rushed, you can't do anything, tell yourself, I can just do one ayah, and that's all. And don't pressure yourself. That way you build up a consistency. So I do this for consistency, so even if it's difficult. This book, and I know another great one, this is the one that I like the translation, is the Clear Quran. This Quran is by Oxford Press, again tattered, sorry. I don't think books should look nice. If they're looking nice, maybe you're not using them, Allahu A'lam. So this is the translation. Again, I think it got like some water damage, so forgive me, I think there is a little bit of water damage one time. And so, alhamdulillah, I love it. Especially my favorite part is actually the introduction. I encourage you not to skip it, because it is just, honestly, this is what hooked me. It was this. And so I did this and I took notes on it, and I found it just absolutely wonderful. And then when you get into the actual Quran, what I tend to do is when I find something I love, I tend to fold the pages. So if you look through my book, you'll see a bunch of different folded pages of things that really, if I ever feel like I wanted to go back and read something that was very compelling, all the folded pages I know are going to have something on it that tugged at my heartstrings. I always have a book and a notebook. I always have a book and a notebook. And so this one is the one I use to take notes on everything I'm thinking and feeling as I'm reading the Quran. Sometimes I'll even use it if I want to on any of these books as I'm looking through them. But for the most part, I am always reading and writing. It's a skill I learned from university. One of my professors, I really respected him. He said, every time you have a book, don't just go anywhere with a book. Always go somewhere with a book and a notebook so you could feverishly write. And that way, if you ever want to go back, you don't have to reread the pages. You could just look at so I do it more like, and this is when I've had the most reflection and depth in my life is from this. This is something I do always. This is my morning journaling. You guys have seen me talk about morning journaling, my 4-point journaling. This is my book. So inside of my book, you're going to find exactly what I've told you guys to do all those times. That has completely helped me. If you guys don't already know, we have a 4-point journaling system, and it just takes me 5 minutes. So if on a bad day I cannot get to all of this, what I will do is I will do just this and this, and that's it. This primes my mind so I have a positive mental attitude, and this is for just one ayah today. So on a bad day, I would do just this if I didn't feel well or I woke up late, and then if I had a good day, I would do like everything else. Like I said, the Quran, this. So generally, the way it goes is I'll wake up, I'll do a dua, I'll read some of this, or I'll start with the other Quran. And so this is the other Quran that I use. This is the one I actually use to read. I like this one a lot. And it's because it has color. I always like when the pages have color for all the different rulings. And this to me has always been helpful. I use it with my kids. I use it for myself. So if you're interested, look, easyquran.com. Sometimes I also use something called Quran.com. When I feel like it, I use the computer for that as well. Now in the back here, I always have something I'm currently reading. So as you guys saw from my other video, I just haven't removed it yet. This is what I was reading last. I was reading The Ideal Muslimah. I was reviewing. I tend to put tabs all through the books. As you can see, again, very tattered. And I take notes as I go along. Again, I love to fold pages. I always fold pages for things that are very important to me. And I tend to put tabs even if I can, with little notes and things like that. But I tend to always fold the pages of things that I've read, I've underlined. I tend to be very active with my books. And so this is the last one. Just constantly like notes in my book. We call this active reading, that's why I have these here. Active reading, not just passively reading when you're underlining something or you're taking notes. So this is what I'm generally doing. So this is the last one. And the last one, I'm currently reading this again, probably for the fourth time. Anytime I feel like things are getting hard for me, or I want to remind myself, patience and gratitude are honestly the keys to Jannah, and they're often overlooked. We are usually ungrateful and not patient. So these are things I take really, really seriously, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes them seriously. So this is Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, and this is absolutely... So just showing you from the table of contents some of the amazing topics: types of patience, degrees of patience, patience according to the 5 rulings, patience being indispensable, which is the priority, patience or gratitude. Patience is half of belief. Like, these things are amazing, and they're covered within the book, as well as many other things. Just trying to see here. Proofs of the poor, rich, how to settle an argument. Just so many things. And again, as you go throughout the book, I'm just taking notes or folding down the pages, inshallah, but these are just amazing, amazing books. So at this part of the day, I kind of jump right into my planner. I might have looked the night before I went to bed, but I'm going through, looking at my top 3 things I have to accomplish, anybody I have to do my work with, just generally getting my mind ready for the day and all that I have to accomplish. And I have a 2022 calendar that has literally like each month at a glance. And here's my one from 2021. So I'm kind of switching between those right now as the year is changing. And I have my own personal calendar. Now, this is the pen I tend to use. I don't use these Uniball Vision Elite pens. And I have a separate planner for my kids' homeschool, just because I've tried to combine them before. I found it didn't really work for me. So I go through and I review anything I have to teach them for the day. That way my mind can be ready, everything's fresh, and I have like my head ready where we need to do with them and accomplish. I look at maybe past things we have carried over into today. And generally I just organize myself in there. And there's all types of cute things at the back of it. They have like all these stickers I'm going to show you inside of here. Inshallah bismillah ta'ala, like, you can use them to mark things up, you can use them to get yourself ready, but I do have another planner just because I find it just makes much more sense for me to have all these things in one place. So I have this rule in my house, and I can hear my kids waking up, and then they wake up, they're always singing. And by the way, we don't listen to any music in my house, so it's really interesting because my kids are always singing songs they've made up. I think it's actually the nicest thing ever, because they're always just, whatever their thoughts are for that week, they're just singing them constantly. I don't know what it is, but I actually know they're focusing when they're singing, even when they do their work. For some reason, sometimes my son will recite Quran, but they don't have music to listen to, so they're constantly doing their own thing. Sometimes we'll listen to nasheed without instruments, obviously, but like once in a while, it's not a big focus. Our focus is Quran and like listening to our thoughts. And when you let them have silence, yeah, but like I could hear them upstairs right now, like singing, and so I know in about 10 minutes they're gonna wake up. But definitely feels so good because I had this time to myself. And I encourage any women, if you're able to do that, if you have kids, to wake up a bit earlier. I know it's hard at first, but once you're up, you just have time for yourself and you feel good. You feel like you can offer your family the best of yourself. So at this point, I'm now going to move into the kitchen and get everything cleaned. If you've seen previous day in the life videos I've done, I always kind of like wipe down the counters and get everything ready and cleaned up. I feel mentally better when everything's just clean. And then I move straight to my body. I know that celery juice is something I've talked about before. It's not that I'm like crazy about it. It's just I've really found such great health benefits, and alhamdulillah, just it reducing inflammation and just keeping like my stomach healthy and everything. So here I am. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to start to juice. There are other things that I juice. Like right now, I'm currently also juicing beet and carrot with some lime. It's really, really good. So juicing is something huge in my family. I use a Huron. Again, you'll see this throughout like all my videos. It's really just live juices and health. It's very, very much part of our lifestyle in our house. And so I'm going to take this over, sit at the computer, and I'm currently doing either some work with my team, or I'm going to be looking at some of my classes that I have online. I'm doing another degree for something related to Islamic studies. And I just wanted to remind us all that Allah subhanahu subhanahu wa ta'ala, he loves the consistent deeds. He loves them more than anything. So if you could just consistently do 5 minutes of Quran a day, that's awesome. If you could do, 10 minutes, that's awesome. It's better than doing 30 one day and none for 2 days and, here and there. You want to make this thing where you have this spiritual awakening, and it's really hard if you don't make it a regular thing. So just be flexible with yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start small and build up from there. And always ask Allah to help you with this process. And He always will. He's the best keeper of promises. Now, it might seem like I'm doing a lot here. I'm in the kitchen just prepping stuff for dinner, but literally these things just take minutes. Here I'm just like chopping up some things to make a marinade so I can marinate the meat and put it in the fridge so it can sit there all day while I'm doing other things. Just this 5 to 10 minute thing where I'm just seasoning things or whatever is all I need to have my dinner less stressful later. And those are the types of things that I'm working on. I also made some ma'moul for my kids. Again, this really only takes about 10 minutes to put together, and then I put it in the oven. I take it out, and then I'm just like cooling it off and sprinkling it, and they're gonna have it this morning with some another smoothie that I made them. I pre-make the smoothies. I'll show you that in a second, but get myself some coffee, just getting myself going after I've had all my other things. But yeah, you might have seen my previous videos. I freeze smoothies ahead of time. This is a citrus smoothie. We have a recipe. I'll see if I could link it below on our website. We have it. I have tons of smoothie recipes for Ramadan. This one has so many healthy fats and superfoods and things, and my kids do not mind that it's green because I've done this since they're small. I do blue ones, green ones, red ones. They're more interested in the color, and the taste is really good too. So I put them in these cute little kid-safe mason jars. Then I make myself a little breakfast. Again, takes literally 5 minutes. Just some eggs, some avocado, some Parmesan, some cilantro, healthy fats. Moms, it doesn't take long to take care of yourself. Really just do it. I put my books out for homeschool and I go upstairs. Morning, sleepyhead. Hey. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek into my quiet time in the morning. I really enjoyed having you here with me. Inshallah, bismillah ta'ala, I'll also be doing a evening routine, and you can see how that goes. But definitely don't forget the tips that I mentioned. I want you to make sure that you take care of you. You do what's best for you. You have this morning routine that's just taking you a step closer every day to your goals for the year. I'll see you in the next one.